Okay, we've been talking about launch out. Okay, previously we talked about the need to launch out and improve on the job. Your last work will not be your first work, because your last work before you leave this world would of course be an improvement over your first work. So do not allow the imperfections of your first work deter you from making progress, because there are things you can never see until you launch out. There are things you can never learn. There are dimensions of improvement and growth you can never attain until you launch out. That is why sometimes you hear things like growing on the job, but you have to be on the job. You have to be in the field to grow. Okay? All right. So why do people delay launching out? Why are people afraid of launching out? We've been there. We are still there. What I'm telling you now is part of launching out. Talking to my past, I mentioned previously that you are writing, you are creating for your past. Perhaps, okay? You're creating for your past, not the future. Because to you, that information is obsolete. That experience, it has come and gone. But somebody is going through it. What were the mistakes you made? You need to put it down. So why do people delay launch out? One, they either trivialize the experiences they have. They see it as nothing because it's not spectacular. You know, during our thesis, undergraduate research, and even postgraduate, people are always looking for a breakthrough. As long as it's not a breakthrough invention, we wouldn't want to report it with confidence. Okay? But know that whatever experiences you have gone through, it's a way and a methodology that should be documented for the next person not to take, or for the next person to take. So why do people delay launch out? Fear of criticisms. So I promise that we'll be talking about how I handle critics. Now, release that content and let the critics do their job. The job of a critic is to criticize. So let them have a field day, okay? Now, while you will not allow the fear of critic deter you from moving forward, you do your basics. Once upon a time, listen to the message and not the melody. Now, your message, is it correct? If it's correct, how many percent correct? Okay, 90% correct. Okay, we can work with 90%. Okay, this is absolutely true. Bagam, then you have a product. If your message is correct, then you present it and allow the critics take care of the remaining percent. Now, the human mind, or the human beings generally, human beings are designed to hammer on the ineffectiveness of a thing rather than focus on what is working. A typical case study, Adam and Eve. Okay, you can eat everything except that 1%. Of all the fruit, eat everything, but that very 1% do not eat. So that 1% become the focus. Rather than celebrating the 99% that is correct, people always focus on the 1% that is not working, focusing on the 30% that is not working, focusing on the 20% that is not working, focusing on the 10% that is not working, and they hit it so hard that you regret your life ever delving into that direction. So when people come to you like that, number one, this is something you will do. You are not producing a perfect product. You are producing something that is improvable. That is why the work of art can only be appreciated. You can never be paid for it. So don't expect payment. Expect appreciation and or criticisms. So when they come with their critical point of view, hammering on that which is correctable or improvable upon, and holding it as if you have killed somebody, listen to them and know that that is the human nature. So sad. That's the human nature to always, this is not working. Why is this? What of the one? So when they are done criticizing, listen. Then when they have finished their statements, okay. If it's so important to you, it's okay. Having said that, so what are the good things that you see in this? The moment you ask a critic that question, all the energy of discouragement goes down. You say, oh, you should have done this. Okay, we'll improve on it next time. However, if it's something that you can go back and redo and present, you do that. But do not cry over spilt milk. I tell people when I'm making production or in the production process, if you have any correction, do it while I'm talking. But when it is done and is published, my brother, whatever you're saying is medicine after death. So if you come with any critical opinion or anything that you feel, it's just like in during wedding, they'll say, okay, whosoever has anything to say now, whosoever have anything to say should say or forever remain silent. So if you have anything to contribute while doing the production and you think it's critical, let them say. But once you've released it, my brother, take note of the corrections, improve it in the next version, and move. And move. But if you are afraid of what they will say, you will remain in level 1 and you will never get to the top. You will remain, your book will remain in your computer, it will remain in your head, it will never profit somebody. Remember, most of these critics, even what I'm talking about, there are people who come to check this channel out to just see what exactly is it talking about. I'm aware. And there are people who are there genuinely looking for something to feed upon. Those are the people I'm talking to. I'm not talking about those who are looking for the 5% that is not working and rubbish the 95%. No. Know that a critic must find something. That is why he's called a critic. So constructive criticisms should always be welcome in the production phase. But once you've published, a building is done, you say, this is bad, it's okay, we'll improve on it next time. And you do what? Move. You move. So that's how I handle critics. Oh, this is very bad, this is bad, you should have done this. It's okay, since it's like this now. So what is good about this thing? You ask that person. You just burst those bubbles. It works. It works. So deploy it. When the critics come, there are some bad belly criticisms. So when we say bad belly, they are negative. They come with a negative energy to discourage you. So when a critic is talking, let it be entering here and coming out here, but be taking note of those things so that with the mindset of improving, not discouragement. I believe this simple way that I've used over time to prevent myself from retrogression. I've used these techniques. God has helped me to use this technique to douse discouragement and move on. So I'm not afraid of being criticized. Okay? Criticize me. For some of us who went through universities that 80% of the agenda of people who come to listen to your presentations is to rubbish the presenter and not the present. That is, they leave the content and they are focusing on the content creator. They leave the message and they are focusing on the messenger. No, be objective. So carry no filters because you must move forward. Remember, we are saying create that content now. Launch that product now. Allow the critics do their job. While they are doing their job, write objectively what they are saying and allow their discouragement to enter here and what? Get out through the other side. Remember, it is only a ripe fruit that will receive stones. Okay? So it is a privilege to be criticized. Oh yes, because it's only somebody who has a content that will face criticism. So if you don't have a book, will they even criticize you? If you don't have a movie, who will criticize you? If you don't have a media content on the space, if I have not done this, you have nothing to peruse or even criticize. So count it all joy when critics come at you, especially with negative energies, because you're on the right path. That's it on handling critics. Subsequently, I will talk about why every human being that is above the age of accountability should have a content for the next generation. Like I said during the introduction of this course, it saddens my heart when I see people who are 100 years pass away without even a book telling the story of their lives. Remember, you can be an author, okay? But it's not everybody that will be a content creator. You can be an author, but it's not everybody that can be a book editor. For example, these are my jobs, okay, as a book editor. These are the authors, okay? So what am I saying? They are the authors, we are the book editors. So the job of a content creator is to extract the content from the authors. So do not take Panadol for someone else's headache. Your job is to release that content. You know what you want, get the people who can do it for you, and ensure that once the message is passed and you know that somebody somewhere, remember, your target audience are majorly those from the past, not really your critics, because your critics comes with their glasses and an air of importance with a view to make you feel less, okay? So when you see such people, just smile. Whatever they say, let it enter here and let it go out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, okay? Share this so that somebody who is always discouraged by critics will understand that critics are just doing their jobs. So do not allow criticisms discourage you from content creation, from product creation, and so on and so forth. Create that content now. I'm David Alfa. Thank you for watching.